It's such an amazing reminder that the only way, at least the way I see it, we can walk alone is with our limiting beliefs and our thoughts that we're separate. But we know better than that. That's why we come here. That's why we have community, because we remember that we are all part of this one infinite intelligence that created, boom, everything. It thought creation into existence and is still creating through us. Because this infinite potential is a vibrant potentiality. Invisible, but always present. And it's there for us to use at every moment. That potentiality, that creative essence that is God, and since God is all there is, infinite spirit is all there is, we must be part of that. You know, the Bible said you're made in the image and likeness of God. We know that. But this is what Hafez says, the 14th century Sufi mystic. He said, all talents of God are within you. How could this be otherwise when your soul is derived from God's genes? We have great ancestry. God's genes, that's all there is, and that's what we use, and we can create with that energy and that life force. And that force, that energy is always flowing to us and through us. But it can only be as active as our acceptance of it. For anything that's giving, there must be a bowl of acceptance and receptivity, or the gift isn't really given. So that's our job, is to open to a greater acceptance. First of all, how many of you think of yourselves as creative beings? How many aren't quite as creative as you'd like to be? Okay, good. That's good. Because it's something that happens continually, all the time. There's always more. Humans were given this large brain because we were given the capacity, much bigger than just for our daily functions or activities, because we are born to hold creative thought, to be able to think new thoughts at any time. The problem is, I don't know about you, but sometimes we have a preconceived notion of what creativity is. We think of it as beautiful music or art or all these just extreme professional talented artists and creators, when actually our thought is a creation, and we have the power to create all the time. For me, my deepest sorrow has brought forth my greatest creativity. And if we can expand our thinking as humans to not only hold the beauty and the joy of art and music and dance and all the things we love that inspire creative thinking, but to also know the messiness and difficulties in life, call forth the creativity from us that we need. We need to expand on that, open our thinking, to broaden our perspective and find that artist, that creator within. Because I don't know about you, but the world to me is so chaotic and out of balance. It's hard for me to make sense of anything when I listen to the news or what's out there, or I look from the outside. What makes me filled with hope and courage and faith is the creativity that we have the possibility of creating something better. All the time, every moment, we have that within us. One of my favorite, I remembered this line, it's hard to find, Mitch Tilde of Magdeburg. She is a 13th century mystic. And she said, you're given two wines to drink in this lifetime: the white wine of joy and the red wine of sorrow. Until you've drunk deeply of both, you will not have fully lived. If we want to be fully alive and creative beings, we have to hold it all. We have to be able to hold the allness of life. And when we see some of the crazy things going on in the world today, well, how can I create and make something better? I know it was watching some of the senseless shootings that were happening and just thinking people just aren't in control right now. We went to Jamboree. I went with little Naya and Deanna to Jamboree. And what I could do is not just love my grandchild, but all these little babies that were there. I could go and see the goodness in each one of them. And that's my way of making this world a better place, of giving me hope. Because I don't know what else to do. I have to give the love and kindness that I have in the moment to share, to make this world better. That's my creativity. I'm not a great artist. I'm not a great dancer. I'm not a great, definitely not a great singer. Definitely not that. But I appreciate all those, and life needs appreciators for sure. But how do we inspire creativity? Because creativity blocks are real. They happen. You know? Does anybody know creativity blocks where you can't think of an answer to anything? You're stuck. You know, you just can't move. How do we inspire creativity? Well, number one, we have to, you all know this, but I'm going to say it because I love this, just this image in my mind just says it all. The sculpture is already complete within the marble block when I begin my work. The sculpture is already complete in the marble block when I start my work. It's already there. All I have to do is chisel away the superfluous material. It's already there. The goodness, the possibility, the next step for us is already there. When we talk about God having the divine plan isn't that we have a blueprint for our life. It's already there. The divine plan is there's possibility and creativity in us to create something new all the time. And that's what we're here for. We're here to be that. So we just have to let go of the things that no longer work for us. Now, when I loved when James was singing the song we sing a lot, and he started moving and grooving to that song. He wasn't going to stay stuck with the words that we usually use, and it got us open and available to something more. We need to chisel away all those old beliefs and the things that keep us stuck, that keep us separate from each other, that keep us separate from our dreams, that keep us limited in any way that we can truly step into something greater. When all of the major spiritual traditions know that divine creativity speaks to the human heart. That's where our creativity is. It's in our heart. The mind acts as a tool. The intellect acts as a tool to help bring our divine ideas, our divine feelings, our inspirations forth. But it's the divine inspiration that comes to the heart. So we have to figure out right now, and this is a good thing for our prayer wall today, if we have our heart so loaded down with emotional baggage, we're not going to hear that still, small voice of spirit that whispers to us in a feeling that is warm and colorful and affirmative and wants us to grow. We're not going to hear it because we have all this stuff that keeps, oh my God, I can't believe that. How is that happen? Oh, why did they do that? And it's so loud, we don't hear the real inspiration. So what is it right now? If you're going to chisel away something and just let it go. Sometimes we can do it on our own. Sometimes we need help from someone else, something else. But we need to be very conscious every single day. Ernest Holmes said we are an inlet and an outlet of spirit. The inlet is when we create the space. Now, when our committee was talking about walking up in nature, oh my gosh, Loretta, Sue, Terry, that's going to be a way, an inlet for spirit, to be out in the beauty of nature. Thank you for that opportunity. It's perfect. It's beautiful. But we can sit, we can meditate, we can be out in nature, we can be doing just a project on our own. I know when you find washing the dishes, you can just call in spirit and be washing away whatever it is you don't want anymore. Let it go. Let it go. We need to make the space to be an inlet for spirit. And once we're an inlet for spirit, the outlet of spirit is creativity. Matthew Fox, the Dominican father who let go of the Catholic religion to become an Episcopal priest because he did not believe we're born in original sin. He believed we're born as an original blessing to life. He said that creativity is the one word that he can find, the one word definition for God. It's the only one he can find. That creativity and God are synonymous. They're the way it's expressed. I love that. It's beautiful. And so what are we going to do to get out of think in a different, new way? I put my little box in a new place, and I don't think it's working too well, is it, Kirk? You're looking at me like I'm going in. I tried something new. my creative expression didn't work this morning. Oh, well. I couldn't get it, and never mind. I needed help, and there was nobody there. Oh, well. Anyway, I'll just hold it for now. Oh, well, my new thing didn't work. It's okay. We have to be okay to fail. That's all right. We have to be okay to do that, too. Well, it is now, but it was going in and out with my heartbeat, I guess. Anyway, my boyfriend, not you, Kirk, says, you are born with potential. You're born with greatness and trust and goodness. You're born with ideals and dreams that are all in there right now. They're there. You're born with wings. Now I want you to hear this one. You're not meant for crawling, so don't. That says it to the point, right? You're not meant for crawling, so don't. He also says you should let go of, unlearn everything and embrace madness. That might be a little too far, but anyway, you can at least not crawl. You have wings. Learn to use them and fly. You know, we're all individuals, and the one thing that will kill creativity more than anything is comparison. We have to stop comparing ourselves. We've all heard this quote from the Bible, I put before you life and death. Choose life. And I started thinking, what is life and what is death? Well, to me, death is apathy. It's comparison. It's judgment. It's all the things that build the walls against life, against our creativity, against acceptance. And it's hard for me anymore to know. Hello? It's hard for me to know. Kirk, is my thing off? What's wrong? Don't move. You're telling me not to move? Okay. It's all the things that keep us separate from goodness and from love and from one another. Life is livingness. Life is being inspired. Life is being connected. Life is when we can be curious. We can live with ambiguity. We can live with not knowing. We can think outside of the box. So I'm going to invite right now our ministers and practitioners to form a nice wall up here. And I'm just going to ask you in your seats to just unravel yourself like I ask you to do. Just put your feet on the floor. If you're comfortable, just closing your eyes for just a minute. Being this inlet and outlet of spirit, just imagine the influx of that infinite potential, that creative power. Just knowing and trusting it's flowing in us right now. And just see what it is do I need. Do I need to let go of something that's blocking the flow, or embrace just love, kindness, compassion, acceptance, forgiveness? What do I need to embrace? What do I need to let go of? Fear, chaos, insecurity, not knowing. What do I need to let go of? What is superfluous material in my life that is unneeded right now, that's only blocking my creative expression? Ask that, know that. And then when you come up today, Know that we've already, just by our practitioners and ministers coming up here, we've created a dome of prayer. That God truly is all there is, infinite spirit. Love, kindness, abundance, whatever name you call God in this moment. That's the truth right here and right now. And that we are one. We are made of that stuff, that God stuff. And so knowing that when you come up here, simply say, I release. Not I want to release, I'll try. I release or I embrace. In our prayers, we make an affirmative statement because we know in the mind of spirit it is already done. So I invite you right now to come forward with your prayer. Don't be afraid. Step out of your box. Accept the good that's available. Have a bowl of acceptance. Open your hearts and minds to something more. I just invite each of us to just sit in the light of God's infinite goodness and to feel the rays of love and kindness and compassion fill us to overflowing. As we recognize and know in this moment, we have a purpose and a meaning right now to bring more light, more goodness, to follow that light, that spark of the divine within us, to follow it to something greater, the greater light of oneness and acceptance and peace and possibility. And as we join together in this knowing, we truly do create a world that works for everyone. And in this consciousness, we feel blessed and are a blessing. We say thank you, God, for all of this and so much more. And so it is. Thank you for being part of this beautiful community that cares and loves and always knows there's something more.